I really would encourage women who don't feel that bold and confident to develop the circle, the tribe, whatever your term is, of people who can be both supportive, but also realistic in giving you information, advice, and support to help you. Hey listeners, welcome to a special two-part episode of Inspiring Women. We've done over 200 episodes of interviewing incredible women leaders, and today we've decided to flip the script. Today, my producer, Christina Van Buren, will be asking me questions. Hey Christina, take it from here.
Thanks, Laurie. We've been working together for a few months now, and as I've learned more about your journey and everything you've built through your career and the Inspiring Women platform, I know I had some questions, and I thought your listeners would enjoy hearing the answers too. So let's start with this. Laurie, you've had an extraordinary career journey from helping scale Allscripts to now serving as the Chief Commercial Officer at Transcarent. What core leadership principles have remained constant for you throughout these different career moves?
Mainly that, you have to show up and do the work. So there is nothing about sort of having a successful career or anything more satisfying than like getting good work done. I've always been somebody who is working hard and really aiming to make an impact. All the years of building Allscripts, I'm really proud of that. It started at a time when there were, less than 5% of physicians were using technology in the offices. Now, this is like a million years ago, it seems, at this point in time to now, nearly 100% of physicians use technology. We learned a lot, but I feel good about the impact that, we created, that we made happen during those years. And now my work at Transcarent is all about improving healthcare. It's about making it easy for people to access high quality and affordable health and care. So it's impactful. So the core principles of leadership for me are working on things that are important, that you can be passionate about, because the work is hard. The work is always hard. It's brutally hard. And to have the requisite level of energy, you have to be excited about the impact and the results that you're achieving.
You've held CEO, president, and C-suite roles across multiple organizations. How has your leadership style evolved over the years?
It has evolved. It's evolved a lot. And I think that evolution comes with experiences and, just more confidence in my own capabilities. We talk as women, we talk about confidence all the time. And the thing that I have learned is that I can actually trust in myself to get the job done, to have a good enough answer, to solve a complex problem, to not be afraid to lean into the hard, the ugly, the difficult issues that are out there. And I didn't have that confidence because I didn't have all of that experience in those earlier times when I took those larger positions. That confidence gives me an ability to not just get the job done, but to have a lot more calm, even though it's still hard, even though things are still complex. But the calm that comes with the experience is, I would say, the leadership difference. I have, I don't let it rile me as much when I'm hitting those complex, difficult issues, because I know that my intentions are always positive, the right ones, even when I'm dealing with hard things.
What unique challenges have you faced being a woman in health tech leadership? And then how have those experiences shaped the way you mentor other women in the industry?
I mean, the obvious one. I mean, I've my entire career, I have been in so many situations where I've been, the one of one in a room, of a woman in a room, or one of few, in important discussions. And I would say early on, it was so notable to me in a way that was just frustrating. But it has evolved, and women have made so many advances. But in the world of healthcare technology, technology, healthcare more broadly, there's still only about 20% of women in the leadership and the top leadership positions. So we're not even close to being 50-50. So we've got a long ways to go. At the same time, women are showing up in ways, contributing at incredible levels. And it's well studied, well known that when you have diversity around leadership tables, in boardrooms, you have better performing organizations. So I guess just, that's sort of the trend lines that I've seen, but how I show up with that is I'm no longer bothered by those circumstances. However, I'm working very hard to change those circumstances. And that advice that I give to other women that I work with, whether I'm mentoring them or I'm just having conversations with them, I'm more aggressive. It's less about coaching for women. I'm like, come on, we have to get going on this. Push for that C-suite position. You earned it. You deserve it. You're more than capable of doing a fantastic job. So I would just say I have more conviction and more, I'm more pushy with other people to do more, because everyone's capable and deserving of those senior positions.
What still needs to happen to accelerate progress toward greater representation in the C-suite and in boardrooms?
It's going to take women helping other women. So we have enjoyed the past, I would just say past decade, where there was an enormous amount of intentional work on gender representation, all kinds of different representation. There have been laws to have more equity in boardrooms. Those laws have been repealed. They've been dismissed. And we're in a new time where DEI is no longer diversity, equity, inclusivity. It's a problem. It's a trigger word in some circumstances. So what that means to me is we need to work harder as women and as allies to pull people forward, because it's not going to be systemic change that's going to allow us to accelerate on the gender parity issues that we face. For myself and other people who are in positions of authority, of power, of, ability to make decisions, we need to pull, we need to be louder in our use of our voice to support and advance others. And that's what we need. And it's unfortunate. But as I talk to so many different groups out there, groups of women leaders, I'm just like, look, it actually is up to us. I don't know what to tell you. It's up to us. We have to do more, and everyone's busy, but we have to do more to pull the next generations of extraordinarily capable women, younger people forward into leadership.
What would you say to women in leadership who still view other women as their competition versus as collaborators?
Yeah, I mean, I have seen the, the examples where there are women in senior level positions who have worked really hard to get there. And then it's, it's sort of like the Mayflower thing. I'm here and everyone else behind me, there's no room for you. And that is, that's disgraceful. That is just disgraceful. And, I just, I think it was, it's been said that, for a woman who is in a position who does not help other women, there's just, a cold place in hell for those people. And I agree with that. I mean, look, so I would say if for anyone who is in a situation where there is somebody in a position of authority and power who is a woman who is not making room for others, there's not a lot of changing that. And I've seen this situation before. It's unfortunate. It is real. Get around it. Move away. Do something different. That person is perhaps not changeable. Most likely not. You've got to work around, different, through, above, whatever it takes. And it's just unfortunate that it's still there. Thank goodness it's not the majority of what we see in women leaders, but it is an unfortunate situation in some circumstances.
Can you share a story about a mentor who impacted your career and what lessons you learned from them?
Sure. So there was a time many years ago where I worked. I worked at a company. It was a startup. We had just been purchased by another company. I was leading a development team. I was really excited about the job that I had, which was leading the development team that had the premier product. That was the reason for this really strategic acquisition. But as a merged company, they already had a chief technology officer. They already had somebody who was running development. And this mentor, who was the CEO of the organization that I was in that just was purchased, she asked me to take a role leading implementations and support. And I was like, that just did not sound appealing to me. And her advice to me was like, Laurie, what are you going to be? You're going to just like, you're leading product teams. Is this your vision for yourself for the future? Is that all that you want to be? And by the way, that's a fantastic job. If that is in fact your only passion, that was not my only passion. She pushed me to take a job that was not as desirable to me. And what it was an incredible stepping stone for my career. I became immediately a valuable and important part of the executive team of the larger organization because I was open through her coaching to taking something that I wasn't initially interested in. So those sort of stepping stones that might sometimes be lateral or different than what you had originally planned, that gave me a level of broad experience. I went on to be president of that company. And had she not, she pushed me pretty hard. It was, sort of like early conversations earlier in my career. And it ended up being some of the best advice ever.
What are the most common challenges you see women facing in healthcare leadership today?
I think today that women do not understand their full capability. They are not confident enough in their amazing skill sets, their amazing talent, and their ability to do more, have louder voices, be recognized more. I think there is still a falling into sort of like, old norms, old habits, old things that people might say about confidence or all of these other things. And right now, at this time, 2025, we are in a time where bold leadership is required of us. And as women, we actually are uniquely equipped and talented to deal with leadership skills that are needed in this time. Empathetic leadership, inclusivity, hearing all the voices in the room, not just the ones that sound like our opinions, but other voices, incorporating them. Women are particularly good at this. Women are particularly good at sharing space for others to take credit in teams. That is enormously valuable right now. I see women being not bold enough, not confident enough. We shouldn't be shooting for the next career move. We should be level jumping to above and shooting for those kinds of moves, those kinds of ideas that we want to get funding for in our companies, our corporations, our healthcare systems. So that is what I think is happening right now. And I think that there's a unique point in time where it might be that you don't feel like you've got all of the support around you. There are people eager to latch on to leaders to do more, because these are different times than they were just a couple of years ago. And so bold leadership is the most important thing that women need to be doing right now.
What if a woman doesn't feel bold or confident? How can she get to that place?
If a woman doesn't feel bold and confident, but a woman wants to advance in leadership, then she needs to work harder to develop her tribe of people who will help her. It is not easy to be the only voice in a room. It is not easy to be out there on an island for anyone, for anyone, particularly harder for women, because you're going to be outnumbered, in most circumstances or most places of leadership. So what do you do? That, we all talk about mentors and sponsors and coaches. These people are available, but not just your friends. There's a lot of confusion still out there with mentors just being people who are, "You're doing a great job, Laurie. Oh, that was such a great idea, Laurie." And that is helpful and that feels wonderful. And we do need support for hard work that we're doing, but we also need friends, coaches, mentors who can reflect back at us the cold, hard truth about what they're seeing and what they're hearing from you. "Oh, I'm hearing that idea, but you actually don't have enough support. Your numbers they're not compelling enough to actually advance your idea. You have problems over here in terms of this particular department or leader who doesn't support what initiative you're trying to bring forward." So I really would encourage women who don't feel that bold and confident to develop the circle, the tribe, whatever your term is, of people who can be both supportive, but also realistic in giving you information, advice, and support to help you. And just by having those conversations, that actually helps you become more confident. You'll hear different ideas. "Oh, that works for me. I actually can say it that way," because not everybody is the same. We have to hear different things said different ways to find the voice that is the one that we'll feel comfortable with bringing forward if we're trying to advance ourselves. Okay, listeners, that's where we'll pause for today. Next time, Christina asked me why I started this podcast and what over 200 conversations has taught me about women in leadership. Please visit our website, inspiringwomen.show, for all the links where you can find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, and more. See you in part 2.